Legendary sports announcer Al Michaels was set to once again be the voice of the NFL playoff schedule. But unfortunately, much to his and many NFL fans' shock, he got left out of coverage. Oh, what the hell is going on here? Al Michaels out of NBC's NFL playoff coverage in a move he wasn't expecting. Now, it's been a second since I've sat down and actually watched an NFL game and heard the dulcet tones of Al Michaels, and it's one of those things that you get accustomed to. Maybe he's lost a step. Like I said, he's 79 years old. It happens, man. As a recovering professional wrestling fan, as much as I love good old JR on the call, remember it? He was pretty much the soundtrack to my childhood. Listening to him, modern day AEW, it's I'm glad he picks his spots now. Let's just say that. So that might end up being the case for Al Michaels, but he seems to be on the week-to-week calls for NBC's bigger games. So what ended up happening here? What are they going with? The legendary Al Michaels is out of the NBC's NFL playoff coverage, the Post has learned. Michaels called last year's incredible Jaguars comeback win over the Chargers, but he and analyst Tony Dungy were widely panned for a perceived lack of enthusiasm. Okay, maybe that's credible. Maybe that's why they decided to just ghost a legend, somebody who had the legendary 1980 Lake Placid men's ice hockey team comeback call. Maybe there was reason to just go ahead and leave him out on the front step. Michael, 79, may be the greatest NFL TV play-by-play announcer of all time. That's how that should have been written, but whatever. Had a storied run at ABC and NBC calling primetime football before moving to Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime last season. Oh, okay. And next month, NBC has 3 playoff games. The network's number 1 team, Mike Tirico. Wasn't he at ESPN not that long ago? Okay, I seem to recall that. And Chris Collinsworth, who's at least used to be really good. I don't know if he is anymore. From Sunday Night Football will handle 2 of them, including one that will be exclusive to the network streaming service, Peacock. Ugh. As if you want to make that, streaming service even more insufferable. Go ahead and paywall off NFL playoff games. That should be a fucking boon for the industry. Anyways, when NBC has 2 games on the weekend, or the first weekend of the playoffs, its number 1 college team. Its number 1 college team, Noah Eagle and Tom Blackledge. I have no idea who these people are. Along with sideline reporter Catherine Tappan. Oh, make sure that you get that female representation. Christ almighty. Man, that's been my big problem when it comes to sports coverage. I know Don has a problem with a woman, but no, man. There are so many out of work, retired players who would ask better questions, would have better rapport with the current day athletes that they could just go ahead and play off of. Okay, because you remember, this was a little bit before my time, but as an old head, I go and fill in the gaps. But Lynn Swan used to be sideline reporter. Hell, the Juice ain't doing it. I don't think they're calling back O.J. Simpson to reprise his role as sideline reporter, but you're telling me you couldn't get James Harrison some work? You're telling me the Bart Starr wouldn't be hilarious on the sidelines telling people, yeah, I'm about to have a conversation with the quarterback coming up. Can't wait. That would be so good. Richard Sherman, my God. You want to get people engaged in those sideline reports instead of just Aaron Andrews dumb fucking founded that she can't get any respect from the players, or that at, pushing 50, she can no longer carry a kid to term. No, man, for every Sage Steele, you got these insufferable pieces of eye candy on the sidelines that you're not allowed to look at because misogyny. It's all fucking stupid, and there's a reason that I gave up watching sports a long time ago. So big waste of time. There, literally, you could be doing anything. Anyways. NBC Sports Vice President Greg Hughes, Opie, confirmed the assignments to the Post. Michaels did not return the message. The move continues a dramatic rise for the 27-year-old Eagle. I wonder why. Who will also call the Super Bowl as a play-by-player on Nickelodeon's SpongeBob telecast in February. I want to die reading that. Michaels' swap out by NBC has been in the works for a while, though Michaels was apparently caught off guard. Well, yeah, as somebody who also, like I said, used to be a big sports fan back in the cut, there was another legendary voice for a different sport that was out there, but he ended up at least, getting his flowers towards the end of his career. Bob Cole, okay? If you're a hockey fan and you live in Canada, you probably know the name Bob Cole, and you probably have heard a few of his calls over the years. But yeah, as he eventually started to wind down his coverage, he wasn't completely iced out. Okay, he wasn't the lead broadcaster or anything like that. It's just he was allowed to retire with grace, and he wasn't just simply eschewed for another up-and-comer. It's totally fine, man. There's a way that you can give these guys the rub. on the come up, working with a legend, and then, carrying some of that goodwill forward into the future. Executives used to understand that, but no, out with the old, in with the new, because we need to go ahead and captivate the modern audience, which might have something to do with Al Michaels getting replaced. When informed by the Post about being in limbo, Michael sounded unaware about the possibility. It's in my deal, Michael said. Where are you hearing that from? That's part of my deal. Are you hearing something that I'm not hearing? Well, it sure seems like it. There's long been tension between Michaels and top NBC executives, though they had done their best to hide it from the public view, even giving Michaels the Terrace title, which when he was replaced. Yeah, and then also couple that with Al Michaels' Taylor Swift comments bothered some fans. Oh, he was tired of this season-long infatuation that television companies had with constantly referring to and focusing their coverage on Taylor Swift as opposed to the game. Swifties are not happy about Amazon broadcaster Al Michaels' commentary about Taylor Swift during the Cardinals-Saints game on Thursday Night Football. Swift made a virtual appearance on Thursday Night Football to tease her 10th studio album, Midnight's hour before its release. Yeah, that doesn't even have anything to do with the Chiefs and the fact that, she would end up getting more cutaways than, an active touchdown play going on at the time. During the broadcast, Michaels discussed Swift's fan base and seemed to imply the singer is only popular among teenage girls. Well, as a bit of a boomer, he's a little bit off base. You're off by a couple of generations, because it's mostly just 30-something-year-old cat piss thinking millennial bitches that like to drink more boxed wine and then just, stare off to some mid bitch because Taylor Swift is popular. Not because she's only popular with teenage girls, it's because she gives mid bitches everywhere hope. You have 4 sons and you have a daughter. She would be over the moon, Michael told Kirk Herbstreit in the booth. I have a granddaughter and she's completely over the moon right now. Nobody more popular among teenage girls. Nobody more popular among the teenage girl group than Taylor Swift. Michaels added that Swift is a fantastic performer. Herbstreit agreed, adding worldwide. Yeah, just when you go ahead and stack her performances and Rock in Rio or something like that, and the fact that it gets dwarfed by a Iron Maiden lineup that is even a shell of its former self. But don't worry about that. She's a worldwide talent, guys. Trust the media. All respect to Al Michaels, but dudes can be Taylor Swift fans too. Holy shit. It's literally the fucking meme where the guy praises the bitch and then somebody on social media takes offense because they didn't adhere to their interpretation. What the fuck are you talking about? Al Michaels says good morning and then somebody says, I can't feel my legs, at least you have legs. What the fuck, man? But we know. I've covered this quite a bit, but the NFL's love affair with this, empty egg carton been a bigger narrative over this entire season than just this scrub competition that's been on the field. Because let's keep it a buck. There's 6 teams that are actually worth a fuck, and everything else, it's there's so many 50-50 teams. Okay, there are so many mid records. You would think that it's actually Taylor Swift's discography. But there's a reason. There is a big reason why not just the NFL is holding Taylor Swift in such high esteem. And there's a bunch of boomers that are out there just going, oh my God, this is not organic and we can feel it. The regime has bigger plans for Taylor Swift. Look at everything that she's on the cover of. Oh, she's cooking. Oh, she's got so much style. She's the person of the year. She's got all of these magazines that's right there. But, okay, take a look at that. It's magazines. Okay, and then, now she's trying to break into the NFL, and the NFL is showing that because, guys, who watches television? Who still watches television en masse? Now, there's a lot of people that like to say, oh, I cut the cord a long time ago, but who are the people that are still holding on to a cable subscription? Who are the people that are still buying these trade magazines? Starting to make a little bit more sense. A couple of days ago, about a few days ago, I tweeted out this article, and I said, if you want to understand how and why the media, why entertainment moves in the way that it does, take a look at everything that is in this article right here. I found this to be intensely informative, and it's something that I've kind of known for a while. And some of the statistics that I've recited a few different times, well, they're actually out of date because it's even worse than that. So if you ever wonder why everything is so overtly feminized in 2023 and moving forward into the future, it's because bitches buy everything. So the NFL, the failing print media industry, they are just going and they're following the money. It's really that simple. Nobody's pushing this agenda. Nobody's out there trying to psyop you. Expect to hear and see a lot more of her as November 2024 approaches. No. They're just clamoring on to whoever's popular with the people who are going to bring them the most money. And I guess apparently, the graphic designer must have been a woman at this girl power marketing website, because that's fucking atrocious. You got the sparkler in the middle there. I can barely read what your header says. Anyways, first stat that should absolutely hop off the page to you. Women control over 31.8 trillion. You would think that they're out there funding the Ukraine war by themselves. Holy shit, in worldwide spending. And all of this shit, by the way, is cited, okay? Catalyst.org, research buying, okay? Women and U.S. spending, this is what was shocking. Now, I've been underselling this quite a bit. I used to think that, only women controlled a certain amount of the purse strings, but it's actually worse. It's a lot worse. Women make up more than half of the U.S. population. We know, so they're the majority, but then they want special treatment for being an oppressed minority. Wait a minute. Okay. And control or influence 85% of consumer spending. I've been underselling that. I didn't think it was that high, but here we are. The purchasing power of women in the United States ranges from 5 to 15 trillion annually. $15 trillion are on the table. Why do you think entertainment, the media, advertising dollars are specifically targeted towards women? 85% of the power, $15 trillion at play. Makes sense, doesn't it? Women control more than 60% of all personal wealth in the United States. Women purchase over 50% of traditional male products. That's the big key. Why do you think that Gillette, with their stupid, the best a man can get, not the old marketing campaign, but that stupid one where they were just exposing toxic masculinity? Why do you think that they did that? Because guess what? The wives, the girlfriends, the maids end up picking up the razors that the guys use. So yeah, Gillette might be a male brand. It's being purchased by women, including automobiles, home improvement products, and consumer electronics. Approximately 40% of the United States working women now out-earn their husbands. Fucking wow, man. Like this was, I was reading this and it was blowing my mind. Women account for 85% of consumer purchases, and then just broken down in this right here. Okay, like you're gonna hear a lot of this right now, but this was amazing. 91% of new homes has to at least, and this also is just talking about how weak men's in general the male frame is. Okay. And why over 50% of marriages end in divorce. 91% of new homes are at least purchased or at least influenced by women. 66% of computers. All right, well, that's the lowest one. 92% of vacations. Big money right there. 80% of healthcare. Yeah, making more sense. 65% of new cars. 89% of bank accounts. 93% of over-the-counter pharmaceuticals and food. Wow. Women in shopping. Women be shopping like a fucking hack 80s comedian. 80% of women say that they are the primary grocery shopper. 71% say that they do both the shopping and are the household member who primarily prepares the meals. That's another big important aspect to this. 92% of women pass along information about deals or online recommendations to others. Exactly, that's just the natural extrapolation of the old coupon ladies from back in the cut. Pun not intended. 61% of all consumer electronic purchases, women either initiated the purchase or was involved in the purchase process. I need my TV to sound better. And then some simp will just go out and get some absolutely exorbitant amplifier system in order to impress a bitch. 61% of women are more likely to include an item on their list if they're currently using the brand. Impulse purchases. 57% if they have a coupon. 56% if they've seen the item in a store ad or circular. Interesting. Okay. It's kind of weird, right? Because I've got some items that are in my Amazon saved for later bin or something like that. It's just a couple of electronics. I'm looking at getting some upgrades. Okay, so you might see a new camera or something like that. Okay, so I've just got them saved up because in Canada you have Boxing Day, or at least like the Christmas specials. I want to see if anything fluctuates and goes down like that. But I have one camera in particular that has a clip and save coupon that's attached to it. Now it's fluctuated over the past week or so that I've had it in the saved for category. It's fluctuated in its standard price without a coupon attached to it, anywhere between, I think it's sitting right now at about $70 all the way up to about $100. But the coupons attached to it always keep it in that same after coupon about $65 to $70. So generally speaking, it's always been about the same price, but just the numbers, okay? And then the different coupon numbers that are also there, that's always a little bit different. So it's making you think that you're getting a better deal than what you're actually getting. I think this was also, just blown the fuck wide open recently, especially over Black Friday, where a lot of those big box retailers are also getting exposed for just simply putting a sale header over the top of the standard retail price, so people think that they end up getting a better deal than what they're actually getting day in day. So that's why I'm paying attention to any of the upgrades that are there, but seems to not be a universal trait, if you will. 91% of women feel that advertisers don't understand them, so that's why they're trying so hard to crack this. But it's also kind of funny because the same advertisers and the entertainment industry in general always talks about representation being important. And here you have the obvious overrepresentation of women being competent and the heroes in every story that's out there. And that 91% of chicks don't properly feel that advertisers represent them in general. Now, does the failure of the Marvels start to make a lot more sense? And why the NFL is focusing so hard on Taylor Swift? I implore you, please look through the rest of this stuff, because the last thing that I'm going to point out right here is that women make up 43.2% of NFL fans. They want it so badly. They want it so badly because there are so many broadcast deals when it comes to sports in general that rely on the traditional broadcast model, and then also knowing that 46% of NFL merchandise purchases are being made by women as well. There's a lot of money that's out there. Yeah, of the NFL's 185 million fans, 45% are women. Sales of women's NFL apparel have tripled over the last 4 years. And that was from, a 2013 survey. I'm just wondering with this over-reliance of Taylor Swift in recent years, or rather recently this year. It hasn't been going on for that long because we know that all of her relationships don't ever last that long. But I wonder how much of a difference that's going to make. Okay, if Travis Kelce, I thought I seen something that Travis Kelce had the best selling jersey for a certain amount of time. I would just like to know the knock-on effect of that and how hard they're pushing Taylor Swift. I don't really think that it's an overt agenda push in so much as that advertisers, they're just simply following their nose. Not like that. They just know where the trends are at. They know where the disposable income is. They've always known where it is, and they're just simply riding the hot hand right now. So really, there's no conspiracy. It's not a psyop like a previous video that I released not that long ago. Taylor Swift justifiably won Person of the Year because she's super fucking popular. And because a lot of women are single, a lot of women are lonely, and a lot of people like her, and a lot of women like a good breakup song, and nobody's better at doing that than 2023's Person of the Year. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.